Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm here today to talk about my top 5 scariest Stephen King books. So, these are strictly my opinion. I'm not stating these as facts, like these are definitely his scariest books. These are just my top 5 picks that scared me the most, that had me shivering and shaking, that hit me on a deep level. So I won't be reviewing these books. I'm just gonna give a quick synopsis and tell why these books are scary to me. So first, I got Cujo, and I don't know if I said this yet, but these books aren't in any order. So they're scary in their own right. So it'd be extremely hard for me to rank these books. But yeah, I got Cujo. In Cujo, this family's having car trouble and the husband goes out of town, so he didn't get around to getting the car fixed. So the wife and kid decides to go to the mechanic's house, and he lives like out in like the country part. And well, they're out of town too, and no one knows that the wife and son is out there at the mechanic's house, and their car breaks down while they're there. So they have no way to get back to town, and this was back in like the 80s, so they didn't have like cell phones. So yeah, no one knows they're out there, and they're trapped in their car by Cujo, which is a big dog that has rabies. This book scared me because I was attacked by a dog when I was 8. He bit my arm, and I have scars to prove it right there and there. Um, so yeah, after I got attacked by a dog, like I was scared from big dogs like a long time. It took me a while to get over that. Like if a big dog came up to me, I'd freak out. And so yeah, you know why, or you know how this book would scare me. Um, it's about a creepy ass dog that wants to kill you because he's got rabies. So so yeah. Um, the book was very intense. You feel like you're there with the mother and kid in the car with them. It's it Stephen King drags it out, and in a good way. And you just want them to get saved, and they're stuck in this hot ass car. They don't have any food, barely any water, and yeah, it's just sad to see them go through this. And when they didn't deserve it, well, who would? But especially them, because like it was a little kid, so it's sad to see a little kid go through this, and the mom, spoilers, was already getting cheated on by her husband, and then she has to go through this shit. So yeah. Um, Next I have The Shining, and this book is so popular that you probably already know what the book's about, especially if you're a Stephen King fan. That's probably why you're watching this video. So The Stand is about this family going to this motel because the dad, Jack Torrance, got a job to keep the hotel like, or do maintenance, while the hotel is shut down for the winter. They have to stay there for like a few months, and they're gonna be snowed in, and the hotel is haunted, and all the ghosts are like fucking with Jack Torrance and making him crazy, and he's wanting to kill his son and his wife. So yeah, that book got really disturbing in some parts. But yeah, it's scary to me because like having a loving family and then just start going crazy on you, that's pretty damn scary. And that's why it scared me, and all the supernatural stuff was pretty creepy too. Just reading about somebody slowly going crazy and then turning homicidal is pretty damn scary because that shit can actually happen. And I liked the realistic side of the book, minus the supernatural stuff. But this could actually really happen. Somebody slowly going crazy and then turning homicidal. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it because It's a reflection on how people actually are in real life. So 3 of these books scare me because they're realistic. And 2 of the books scare me because it's scary to think that they could happen. They can't happen because they're supernatural. I don't believe in the supernatural, but it's scary to think about. And one of those 2 books is It, about a creepy ass evil clown that likes to eat kids. Do I need to say any more? That's why it scares me, because clowns creep me out. Now, I'm not terrified by clowns. I can stand to be around them. But evil looking clowns, yeah, that's pretty goddamn scary. And something that pretends that it's something, but it's something else. And that's what the clown is. It's not, well, spoilers, but everybody probably knows the story. Like I said, especially if you're a Stephen King fan, you already know what this book's about because it's so popular. But the clown isn't really a clown, it's something else, and that's even more terrifying. So, yeah. So, it is about these group of kids going up against this evil clown, and they fight it. Spoilers. They think they killed it, and years later, it comes back while they're adults, and they have to reunite and fight it again. This book was awesome. I've already reviewed it, but yeah, that's why it scares me, because evil fucking clown, and just thinking that it couldn't happen, but thinking about it is pretty fucking scary. And next, I have my favorite book of all time, favorite Stephen King book, Misery. And I've already reviewed this too. So it's about a writer, Paul Sheldon. He gets into a wreck out in the snow. He's saved by his number 1 fan, Annie Wilkes. She keeps him hostage while doctoring him and stuff. And she reads one of his manuscripts that he has with him. And I should put spoilers in the title, because I'm going to be getting into some spoilers with these books. So she reads his manuscript to his newest Misery novel, and she's a big fan of the Misery series. Well, she doesn't like how it ends, and she like tortures him and makes him write a new book, one that she likes. And this book always makes me feel it's hard to explain, but you feel like you're Paul Sheldon in this book, because Stephen King never leaves Paul Sheldon to jump to another character, and so you always feel like you're trapped in that room with Paul Sheldon, and it's just so it's hard for me to explain. I can't put it into words. It always makes me feel some type of way when I read this book, and it's so scary because this shit could actually happen. This is another book that in this list that makes me feel this way because it's so realistic. And I write, and I want to be a great author one day, a known author. And the reason why this book scares me is because what if this shit happened to me one day? And that's what I always think about. I always put myself in Paul Sheldon's shoes. And so yeah, that's what makes it scarier, because I want to be an author, and I already consider myself as an author, unpublished author. I'm working at it. And so yeah, that's why this book scares me so much. So the last book on this list is Pet Sematary, and known as Stephen King's scariest novel. This sat in his desk drawer for many years before he published it, because he didn't think people would want to read it, because he thought it was so scary. And this book actually plays with my worst fear, and that is somebody being something they're not, or pretending something they're not. Like it did that too. but this plays with it even more. So this book is also about grief and like people dying, and so the dad, I haven't read this in a while. I forget the dad's name, but he's the main character, and his son dies, and he decides to dig him up after he was buried in the cemetery. To dig him up and take him to the pet cemetery to bury him there, because whenever you bury something in the pet cemetery, it comes back to life, but it comes back as something different. There's something wrong with the person after they come back. They're not themselves, and there's something evil about them. And that shit scares the hell out of me, because that's one of my worst fears. Like running into my doppelganger or running into somebody else's doppelganger and sensing that there's something wrong with them, that they're not right in the head or whatever. They don't act right. And yeah, that shit's always scared the hell out of me. So that's why that book scares the shit out of me. And if I did have to rank these books, this one would be at the top of the list. I know that for a fact. So yeah, that is my top 5 scariest Stephen King novels. I would like to read these again, to be honest with you. I've already read Misery this year, and right when I started reading it, I was hooked, and it was the second time I've read it. I've always loved this book ever since I read it the first time. And it's always been at the top of my list of my favorite books, favorite Stephen King books. But yeah, that is it for the list. If you agree with this list, let me know in the comments. If you have your own list, put it down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow with my monthly wrap-up video, books I read in December. And so yeah, you guys have a happy New Year. Well, I guess I can just say that tomorrow, since it's New Year's Eve tomorrow. But anyway, guys, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys later.